NBA Straya, how are you going? How you going? Are you right? You're probably doing better than me. Oh, why is that, Jim? Are you going to have another sook to start a show? Yes, it's my show. I'll sook if I want to. Now we'll get to that. This is NBA Straya. It is Tuesday, February 11, all day. And I am your host, of course, a very washed and cooked James Clements. You can see me on the AFL Today Show, which is back as of tomorrow, which is just awesome. I'm stoked. But also in the fancy studio here, you can see me on NFL Australia. We'll have like a Super Bowl wrap-up show, etc. Here in the fancy studio, we've got a lot to cover in a very short amount of time today. We're not going to go through all the results and everything as we usually would because it is Tuesday. There was no show yesterday. We've got a weird week where we've got, All-Star weekend this weekend. But we go all the way through Friday, so it's just ridiculous. But we've got 4 days behind us, and it's like a lot happened, but it's more newsy rather than results-based, so I'll hit on that. We'll go weekend winners and losers. We got a rescinded trade to talk about. The Lakers-Hornets trade has just been, nah, he's cooked, mate. We don't want him. Sure, all right. It's going to be fun, pretty funny. We had Luka's Lakers debut, which was absolutely insane. Mavs fans are just walking into the ocean at this point, aren't they? And AD's injured. That's maybe why those Dallas fans are like just going, nah, tying some bricks in my pockets and we're just walking, bro. And we also got some all-star replacements because there are some big injuries. So I'll tell you what, the aircon is not working in here and I'm sweating more than Drake watching that fucking Super Bowl performance from Kendrick yesterday. I'll tell you, it is brutal. He was in Melbourne as well. Like, what an insane moment. I'll get to this at the start of the show. I'll just talk about that. Anyway, we've got the winners and losers as mentioned. We'll do a quick, that's not a knife, old mate, no mate, Spud of the Night, Ben and Lonzo Ball. Got a couple of year nails, Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and Outback Takehouse. We'll do the Australian Player Watch because the Aussies are up to it. But of course, the big one is that Ben Simmons has been bought out by the Brooklyn Nets. So we'll hit on that as well. Got a couple of thoughts about that, the Australian Player Watch. And then we'll pick and preview. I think there's 4 or 5 games tomorrow, so that'll be pretty quick. But this is, as we usually do, the sort of quick Tuesday show. We'll punch through it, but we have weekend winners and losers. So there's plenty to get into, so let's bloody well get into it. Episode 1204 of NBA Australia, where Jim talks about the NBL awards. Right after this, let's go.
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Miss Creek. This is Mick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq Attack.
You better. We better get into it. Hey, Dyson Daniels. Better watch out for the attack of your mate Jim is wildly washed today. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's had a big weekend. And then finished it off with a very extremely large Super Bowl Monday. So I had a mate's birthday on Saturday. Got surprisingly hammered. Like, was not expecting it. And, like, we had to set up the Super Bowl party Sunday morning. And then I played pub cricket because I'm a fucking moron, apparently. My back was just ruined. Sitting out there in the heat going, I've made a horrible mistake. And then we have the actual Super Bowl on Monday morning. So NFL Australia's Super Bowl party is amazing. The live stream looked incredible. Producer Gerald crushed it. Myself and Gaz having a great time. Gaz is an Eagles fan. He's beside himself. He's still drunk like it's chaos. The problem was I couldn't get too hammered because I got the bloody NBL awards on Monday night. And obviously I was on, the NBL show, the Supercoach show, which was really, really fun. It was awesome. And I love working with the NBL because they're just like, I don't know, I love the way they go about it. But it was great. And so the problem was my bloody coward boss bails at the last second. And suddenly I'm stuck with the stats boy. I'm like, what the hell? Stats boy's like, gee, Willikers, Jim, all these guys are really big. I'm like, yes, they're basketball players, Statsman. Anyway, so that was pretty fun. But it was great. It was an awesome night. You sort of walk in, run into a bunch of folks that I know. he sort of walked the red carpet, hang out with, Chris Anstey, friend of the program, and a bunch of other, NBL luminaries getting harangued by Darren Lucas, which was fantastic. I have to have him on the show. He, absolute live wire. But hang out with D-Mac, who's been on the show, and Dave Anderson, who's been on the show, a bunch of the awesome sort of NBL dudes that we all sort of grew up with and watched play. And it was just fantastic. I had a great night. The problem was I'd been up since 6, drinking since 8. So it's walking back into the city. Drake was happening at the same time, so he couldn't get an Uber for love or money. They held it the Centerpiece, which is in Melbourne Park. And Drake was at Rod Laver Arena. The same Drake who had just been called a pedo in front of the entire world by Kendrick Lamar. So Kendrick Lamar does his awesome Super Bowl halftime show. People go, oh, that sucked. It's okay, sure. You do better. Go on, I dare you. And but when everyone drops the A minor, absolute, you imagine being in Drake's orbit at that point. And I feel like there was actual footage of him watching that at Crown. And I'm like, yes, cook this to my veins. And then I'm walking, I don't even know he was here in Melbourne, right? And so I get out of the Uber getting to this award, this black tie, I'm in a suit. Yes, I own a suit. I don't fit in it very well since I last wore the fucking thing. I'll tell you. Jeez, Jim, you're getting fat. Yes, I am. The thing was, jump out of the Uber, you're like, who the fuck are all these kids? All these fucking tweens everywhere. I'm like, oh, and then you walk past and it's like, it's Drake? Oh, no. And you look at that crowd and you're like, you're in danger. You all need to leave. But anyway, I'm sure it was a great show. He's a born entertainer, is our Aubrey. But anyway, so it was very weird. And then, of course, the fucking NBL Awards finish at basically the same time as fucking Drake does. So you walk out, it's chaos, and you're like, oh. So I walk back into the city with my fucking dress shoes, just going, fuck, this sucks. Almost made Stats Boy carry me all the way back into Flinders Street. But anyway, it was an awesome night. NBL Awards were great. Had a great time. Just running and talking to everybody and all the former players. And I'm like, Derek Rucker, who's been on the show, that was fantastic, just having a chat with him. I did sort of annoy him, I think, by dropping a Tina Arena reference. And I don't think he was wildly impressed by that. That's all right. I think I did that during the interview that he was on. But anyway. And it was just really fun. The problem is, I woke up this morning going, oh, no. No. So thank God those late night kebabs, or else I'd feel so much worse. There is nothing better than being in the Uber and Uber eating yourself kebabs to your house as you're in the Uber, right? You're just double Ubering, basically. And that was a lifesaver, though, or else I would have been even more rank than I was. And it was pretty rank this morning. The squids, when they wake up, they go, geez, Daddy, you all right? I'm like, yeah, yes. Don't spew in front of the children. Oh, God. Nah, it wasn't that bad. Anyway, so it was awesome. Great day. Super Bowl party was absolutely fantastic. Go back and watch the live stream. You can watch Gaz going absolutely off his head. Me giving him shit. Me wearing my Swifties t-shirt. That was awesome. We had a great day. The Catfish was absolutely packed. I love having it there. It's the best place to watch football and just hang out for a Super Bowl. Our man Jez, who writes into this show all the time, he actually won the bar tab that we have for our prop sheet as well. So good stuff. Right. That's enough of my sooking. Big weekend has just happened in basketball, right? Ben Simmons got bought out. What an amazing moment for Australian sport, right? So not only does Luka make his Lakers debut, and you've got this entire circus happening over there, but Ben Simmons gets bought out by the Brooklyn Nets after 4 years where they trade. He's the centerpiece of the James Harden trade. He plays 90 games in 4 years with Brooklyn, makes $123.5 million from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I'm no math magician, but that's more than $1 million a game. And somebody did actually put in the comments, it's like, hey, Jim, what's that per minute played? I'm like, fuck, that's a really good question because he did not play that many minutes in those 90 games either, right? Because he was always recovering from injuries, etc. The seemingly never-ending cycle of, hey, I'm going to take a year off basketball because I'm a fucking sook, and geez, I've come back, I'm under fucking done, and I've hurt my back. Oh, how did that happen? I don't know. He got the world's worst case of shaggers back you've ever fucking seen, but also got paid over $100 million to not play basketball for the vast majority of his time there. That's all-time legendary GOAT status of bag getting. Like, we should all aspire to be as unmotivated as Ben Simmons. Like, that is just, like, if I went to my boss, who I've just been ragging on already, I'd be like, hey, I can't be fucked. And he'd be like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm like, oh, I don't know, like, just not feeling it. It's just, I'm a bit unmotivated. He'd be like, shut the fuck up, idiot. Get back to work. I'm like, all right, back to the content mines for me. But Ben Simmons, we should all aspire to that. $123 million. That's only from the Nets as well. Don't forget, like, he also got paid a fucking bag by the Sixers prior to all this. So his like career earnings are over 200 and something mil. And the big question for me now is, so he goes to the LA Clippers after the buyout for like the 1.1 million veteran sort of prorated minimum. I love it as well. They're like, oh yeah, he gave the Nets a discount. It's like, yeah, he made up that $1 and a bit million from the fucking Clippers when he signed there. It's like, he's not leaving anything off the fucking table. Leaving anything on the table, rather. So he goes to the Clippers, which is interesting. Because they're good. But they also get Bogdan Bogdanovic in the trade, around the trade deadline, right? That's sort of like your bench ball handler. So what the fuck is Ben Simmons going to the Clippers for? Like, they've got James Harden, they've got Kawhi Leonard, they've got Norm Powell who can handle the ball a bit. You've got Bogdan. Okay. Like, what's he going to do? Like, you can just keep doing the same fucking thing you've done for years with Ben Simmons. Like, he's on the court. It's like, well, you don't need to guard him near the fucking 3-point line. Like, at all. So you can suddenly sag a defender back into the paint, cut off any driving lane for like, what? He's not going to put fucking Zoobs in a pick and roll like James Harden does. Like, you're going to cut off Kawhi's driving lanes because Ben Simmons' defender is like, Ben Simmons is over there. I'm not afraid. Fuck off. Like, who cares? I don't kind of get it, but the Clippers are getting healthier, getting better. So the thing is, he now reunites with Patty Mills. They were just on Brooklyn together. Now they're back together on the fucking Clippers, who went from having 0 Australians who have ever played for them to now 2. Pretty cool. So I guess we're all Clippers fans now. It's such a weird mix having Patty and Ben on one hand, right? Like, Patty, Australian legend that everyone fucking loves. Ben Simmons, dickhead that everyone hates. Like, fucking sure. One man who's put everything he fucking could into his basketballing career and his country, and Ben Simmons. Like, who, checks notes, hasn't fucking done that? So, who doesn't even like playing basketball? Like, it's kind of the thing. Like, he goes to the Clippers, he now gets to, I don't know, his off-season fucking workout videos are going to go insanely good. Like, he can finally just lean into being what he wants to be, which is a social media influencer, not a fucking basketball player, right? Here we are, the Ben Simmons story. What a biography that'll be. I hate basketball and it was shit, and now I'm doing fucking cool workout videos. Like, good on you, dickhead. Anyway, finishes his Brooklyn year. We were tracking this, remember? The made field goals versus fouls and turnovers. He finishes the season with Brooklyn, his tenure with Brooklyn this season, with 93 made field goals against 81 fouls and 88 turnovers. Oh, that's a lot of turnovers. Average like over 6 assists or whatever, but Jesus, when you're only scoring 93 made field goals and you've given up 81 fouls and 88 turnovers, those numbers not numbering, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so there's Box Hill Benny, off to the Clippers. Yep. Buyouts are great. Hey, that Lakers-Charlotte trade, that got rescinded. That was pretty weird. Basically, the Lakers got a look at Mark Williams and went, oh, yeah, he's fucked. Yeah, wait. So you mean the guy who hasn't played in 2/3 of his games for the Charlotte Hornets over the last couple of years isn't ready to go? How are you fucking surprised by that? So Dalton Connect, this poor bastard, he's like, oh, being traded to Charlotte. Okay, off we go. Rocks up. They're like, nah, don't suit up just yet. Come here. You're going back to LA. He's like, oh, fucking Jesus, all right. Didn't unpack my bag. And there was some interesting reporting around this as well, where it's like the Lakers, they don't say that he failed a physical or whatever. It's like they didn't, the terms of the trade weren't fulfilled by the Charlotte Hornets. i.e. they didn't supply a healthy Mark Williams, you think. So the Hornets have now arced up and are going, hey, but they agreed to it. They knew what they were getting. It's like a bit, if he's failed a physical, you can't expect them to go through the fucking trade. And like some of the Lakers people on the inside of this are like, oh, yeah, we might have dodged a bullet there because he is fucked. Like, they give up, the 2031 pick, they give up Dalton Connect. They might have dodged a bullet if that's exactly what's happened, right? They're going, well, they got to look at him, went, yeah, this dude might be a bit shithouse. So it's pretty interesting. They gave up a lot for him. You know, all the leftovers that they didn't give up for Luka Doncic. They go get Mark Williams. And here we are. Anyway, let's stick on the Lakers. Anthony Davis is injured. Who could have seen that coming? Except for everybody. Except for the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, wow, we should give up our 25-year-old, 5-time All-NBA first-team guy, generational talent, for a fucking 32-year-old, always injured dude who's made of fucking plaster and bird bones. Oh, defense wins championship, says Nico Harrison. Now he's getting dudes kicked out of Dallas games who are mouthing Fire Nico at the fucking, like, Jumbotron, and fans who are holding up Fire Nico signs. They're getting kicked out. So, yeah, the shoe salesman God King is now running everything in Dallas. It's going great. Jason Kidd didn't even front the media today. That never fucking happens. It is burning the fuck down in Dallas. Anthony Davis, so he played his first game back from an inductor. Very clearly, as the Mavs were basically trying to like rush him back to like appease a very fucking, completely understandably fucking furious fan base. Going, but hey, look, it's Anthony Davis. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm here. Hey, guys. Fuck, everything hurts. Plays one game, strains it again, boom, out for a month, at least. It's indefinitely as well. They're like, it's at least 2 weeks. Probably more. And you're like, this is... Again, who could have seen Anthony Davis getting hurt? Except for fucking everyone. He turns 32 in a month. And you gave up 25-year-old Luka, who just made his Laker debut, and they just kicked the absolute flying, ever-loving fuck out of the Yaz. And, like, everybody loved him. He loved it. He had this amazing step-back threes, his first bucket for as a Laker. He had an assist to Jackson Hayes. But that's the thing. The entire Dallas thing, and I'll get into this again with the weekend winners and losers, but it was amazing just to be reminded how much easier he makes everybody else's job on the court, right? Because he's so fucking good. Hilarious times. Anyway, the other big injury one was Giannis. He's out through the All-Star break. So he's out of the All-Star game as well as Anthony Davis with a mild calf strain. The Bucks are like, yeah, he will probably be back a game or two after the All-Star break, but yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit. So that means we've got some All-Star replacements. That's nice, isn't it? So in for Giannis comes the fucking Suki Trae Young. He's like, I didn't get into the All-Star game again. I guess we shouldn't call it a snub. We should call it getting trade. Shut up, you fucking sook. He makes it in anyway because someone gets injured. Boom. Weirdly, in the West, Anthony Davis, again, who could have seen this coming? The often injured Anthony Davis getting injured, is replaced by Kyrie Irving, his new teammate. Awesome. Meanwhile, Domantas Sabonis is like, dude, what the fuck? What more do you want me to do? Like, this is bullshit. So, anyway, Suva somehow, the Domantas Sabonis thing, he gets snubbed again. Maybe we should call it getting Sabonis. Hey, Trae Young. Anyway, the Timberwolves ownership also got resolved, kind of, maybe. So there was arbitration. You might remember this. Glenn Taylor had, I think, the third time ever, reportedly, that he's like tried to sell, he's like sold the team. He's like, actually, fuck it, I don't want to sell it. Longtime owner of the Wolves. They've won 2 playoff series since he's owned the team, which is a million fucking years. So remember, he agreed to sell it to Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez. And then basically at a $1.5 billion valuation, and they're going to pay it off in stages. And he's like, as soon as it got signed, he's like, I've made a horrible mistake. It's now worth like $3 billion. Because like all the shit, like a shit fucking team like Charlotte, I'm wearing their hat right now if you're watching the YouTube, they They got fucking what? When MJ sold it, right? It got valuated at fucking $3 billion. It's like comparable sort of market share size. Well, Charlotte's actually bigger than you think, but anyway, Minnesota, like Milwaukee got sold as well. Remember, at a valuation. Well, big part of it got sold, big valuation. You've got all these other ones going for $3 billion. Fucking dummy Taylor. He's just like, oh, I've made a horrible mistake. I could have made an extra $1.5 billion. And then sort of says like, well, yeah, I don't want to. Like, they've fucking not fulfilled the terms of the contract after they sold like 26% of it. They'd paid off in stages, right? Up to the point where I think they were getting to like a 60 or 80% share. And they had failed to come up with like the payment at some point. And they're like, that's bullshit. We've got like $950 million here. Because we've got other investors now, but we have like a, period where we can actually still come up with the money. You have to like give us a chance. And he's like, nah, you've done fuck that. You've not fulfilled the terms of the contract. Fuck you. I get to keep my team. Because but his reasoning for it was fucked as well. He's basically like, I mean, I'm just having lots of fun running this team. We're good again, right? Last year, it's like, oh, we're making like Western Conference Finals, bro. We beat Denver. I don't need any more money. It's like, dickhead, the only reason you're doing it is because you fucked yourself with a $1.5 billion valuation versus $3 billion. So you giant fucking crybaby dummy. Meanwhile, and like this still needs to get like all ratified and shit by the Board of Governors, but Lore and Rodriguez have done nothing, I think, for the last few months, but get more money together, but also go around and tickle the nuts of all the other governors. So that when they get the votes, essentially for like you've got to get approved, right? For the sale, for the majority ownership. And they're just like, yeah, we've got this. So. But the thing is, Glenn Taylor's like, Adam Silver's best mate and fucking, he was like in charge of like the Board of Governors for ages. So I don't know, be interesting to see what happens, but they have got the go ahead from the arbitration and shit. So the Wolves ownership should be changing hands. We'll see what happens. And then speaking of owners, my favorite thing over the weekend, Patrick Dumont. How's that fucking moron? Allegedly. That's not me saying that. That's other people out there. Gave an interview. I love it when owners give interviews. He's like, oh, you're out of touch and a fucking moron. Amazing. But the best one was, so he's out there going, in my mind, the way teams win is by focus, by having the right character, by having the right culture and having the right dedication to work as hard as possible to create a championship winning outcome. And if you're not doing that, you're going to lose. He then proceeds to say, if you look at the greats in the league, the people you and I grew up with, Jordan, Bird, Kobe, Shaq, they worked really hard every day with a singular focus to win. Wait. Noted, not, I'm going to go play 18 fucking holes of golf the day before a playoff game, Michael Jordan. Yeah, okay. Larry Bird, who hurt his back, paving his own driveway and saying, I like to drink beer all the fucking time. Kobe, who only fucking became like a crazy fucking psycho hard worker like after he turned 30 and after they fucked off Shaq. We've completely forgotten about the first half of Kobe's career fucking apparently. And Shaq is the opposite of this. The dude was like, I'm a worker on company. I got injured on company time. I'm going to get healthy on company time. Like would routinely rock into the season wildly out of shape, play himself into shape throughout the season. The opposite of a fucking hard worker for the vast majority of his entire fucking career. So at some point you go, does Patrick Dumont know anything about basketball? And you have this moment of like, oh, I don't think he does. Like that's the biggest takeaway I got from this. I'm like, wait. He's literally just saying like names of the great players, right? Jordan, Bird, Kobe, Shaq. While not knowing anything about them or what they've done or how we thought about them at the time. Like, it's fucking insane. What a lunatic. How fucked in the head do you have to be? You're like, yeah, Shaq was a really hard worker. It's like, he was famously not. Larry Bird would literally just like hang out, drink beers, talk shit, come out and kick your fucking ass. Which is what Luka has been doing for 7 fucking years as well. So you're like, oh, no, just an idiot. Okay, cool. Amazing gear. All right, and the last little bit, the Western Conference Player of the Week was Nikola Jokic. He averaged a triple-double. Yeah, 30, 10, and 10. And Trae Young on the East averaged a 31 and 10. Bloody hell, not bad. Right. No sort of game wraps from the weekend. We've just had a fuck ton of them anyway, so I'm not going to rattle through a bunch of results. But there were some pretty cracking games, of course. The Minnesota-Cleveland game today was absolutely off chops. Cleveland held them to, 2 of 21 shooting in the first quarter and fucking damn near killed them. The Celtics got over the Heat today as well pretty handily. The Hawks beat the Magic, and the Magic are going to be one of the weekend losers because they, I think in that game, got 68 from Paolo Banchero, and they got, and from France, and still couldn't beat the Hawks. Meanwhile, DeAndre Hanna, makes his debut for the Cavs, looks fucking amazing. It's a bit of a fucking weird one, I tell ya. The Bucks smoked the Sixers without Giannis yesterday, and you're like, oh, Philly's in trouble. And back on Saturday, there was that Lakers-Pacers game where it's like, hey, it's going to be Luka's debut. And then it's like, oh, yeah, nah, Luka's not quite ready. And then LeBron sits out as well. It's like, and ESPN's moved everything around to actually show that game. And then Austin Reeves went off his fucking head. It was awesome. So pretty weird weekend. You had the Magic Spurs game, the Magic get by them by a point, all this sort of stuff. The Thunder smoked the Grizzlies, and you're like, oh, Jesus. And the Celtics kicked the fuck out of the Knicks. And, Karl Anthony Towns got absolutely smashed. Tatum had 40 in the game as well. He was absolutely unreal. But Luke Cornett and Neemias Queta beat the shit out of Karl Anthony Towns. You're like, oh, that's a tough one for the Knicks fans. So let's do some weekend winners and losers. Here we go. I don't think we've got the drops on this one, but it's all right. Because we don't usually do Tuesday. Well, yeah, we don't do a weekend winners and losers in the fancy studio usually. But the winners, that might be the team that has Luka Doncic now playing for them. So that's not Dallas. That's the Los Angeles Lakers of Los Angeles, California. They released a video, did Luka, and the Hollywood sign had turned into, instead of the 2 L's in Holly, it was 77, because that's his number. Flip side, maybe a weekend loser is like Luka. It's pretty tough to look good as a white dude, I reckon, in those Lakers jerseys. The yellow, it's like, I'm a ginger, or duh. Well done, Jim. We didn't notice, yeah. But I can't wear red. It's just a lot going on. I can't wear orange. I can't wear yellow. It's just the whole thing. It's fucked. And you put Luka in that fucking Lakers yellow, and you're like, oh, it just doesn't look good. Every Mavs fan is like, yeah, I know. I feel sick to my fucking stomach. It's like, yeah, we get it, Mavs fans. But it's like, I feel like to be a proper white guy Laker, you need to have a thing, right? A thing, like Kurt Rambis, fucking the Foggles. He's out there fucking, or facial hair. Cool shit like that. Jerry West was able to do it, but that's because back in the olden days, they had the short shorts and he gave his left nut hanging out, right? He's got those fucking skinny arms. It's actually like a fucking singlet rather than actual sort of the bigger jerseys we've got now. So it actually looked all right. But Luka needs to have a headband at all times or something like that, right? Or he needs Foggles, or he needs to grow a sick beard like mine or some shit. Because at the moment, I'm just not convinced of the 77 yellow Lakers jersey on the white guy. Austin Reeves, he looks like a fucking dweeb all the time because of that same shit. And he's like, fuck you, Jim. I dropped 45 on the weekend. I'm like, I know. You were very good. But you still look like a bit of a dork. So I don't know. This is it. Let me know what you think. Because I think you need, as a white dude for the Lakers, you need to have an accoutrement. Right? I think that's how it goes. Sasha Vujacic. His thing was being a greasy European. His hair was all fucking greased back and shit, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. Not being racist. But that was his thing. He was kind of had this slick back hair and he just looked super fucking Euro. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That was his thing. He's meanwhile boning Maria Sharapova. That's fucking winning machine. Yeah, he came on. I remember that. He came on my show as well. It was fucking great. He was a legend. Not great English, but why would you need to when you're nailing Maria Sharapova? Anyway, Lakers are weekend winners. We got there. But the thing is, you see that fucking Luka debut, you got Will Ferrell in the crowd. You've got all these fucking famous people just absolutely psyched because you've now got fucking Luka Doncic on your team. Like, they're playing their fucking shitty Utah, this Jazz team that's just gone in the complete fucking tank this year. Like, there is no way on a Monday night, post-Super Bowl, you'd normally have those, like, celebrities, just, like, that level of interest. Luka's playing now. Boom. You are fucking back on the map. The fucking Los Angeles Lakers. God damn. Cleveland are also big winners. DeAndre Hunter was really, really good. They also just fucking obliterated the Wolves. 128-107 today. Held them to 12 first quarter points on 2 of 21 shooting. It could have been 1 of 21 as well, but they made like a buzzer-beating layup right at the fucking end of the quarter. Absolutely chaos. And Hannah had 12 points, but shot 3 of 4 from 3. And that's like the perfect DeAndre Hunter role. Like, don't overextend your shit. Just be there, be big, hit threes. Awesome. And it's wicked. And the Cavs are 43-10 and fucking just still curb stomping the East. The Thunder, same thing in the West. 6 straight wins. Aaron Wiggins has turned into fucking Air Canada. Maple Jordan, I guess. And they've won 6 on the trot. They look incredible. But most importantly, they got fucking Chet Holmgren back. Like, that's why they didn't make any big trades. They're like, hey, we've got our second best player, maybe third best player if you think J-Dub's better than him. You remember that giant fucking 7'4" beanpole defensive ace, knocking down threes, basically almost as good as Wemby, but maybe not? Yeah, we get that guy back. And you're like, oh, right. Yeah, that's pretty good. He's like blocked 8 shots in like a game and a half already. It's fucked. OKC are awesome. But the cool thing is we're going to talk about this all the way through up till like throughout these playoffs. Oh, can OKC do it? They don't have enough like experience. Like they didn't fucking make the playoffs last. Anyway. As if they're not kicking the fuck out of everybody. They've won 6 on the trot. They're looking great. The Warriors have Jimmy Butler. Remember that? Yeah. With all this other shit, you might have actually forgotten about it. They're 2-0 in the Jimmy Butler era already. He's looked really good. He had, 29-6 with 4 steals today. But when they just beat the shit out of Milwaukee, they didn't have Giannis, but still. The big difference that Jimmy makes to this team, though, and this might be the one thing that I did not completely count on, was that he can still get to the line. He got to the line 15 fucking times in that game. And that's like the one thing that no one on the Warriors is doing. Like, Andrew Wiggins certainly fucking wasn't, right? Like, not since KD have they really had that sort of go-to scorer who's actually getting to the line as well. Like, Steph, a little bit here and there, but I mean, he's, taking fucking 35 shots. Now, if Jimmy Butler's just forcing the fucking issue, getting the line 15 fucking times, adds a little bit more of an interesting sort of wrinkle to their game, which I kind of like. Outside of that, the Nuggets. Remember them? They're fucking good still. Nikola Jokic is crushing it. Dropping 40 points on your fucking head is turned, wakes up and goes, there, 40 points on the head. Fucking one not fucking. He might still win the MVP. Like, we've given it to SGA already. I've actually got a preseason future on SGA that I could cash out for almost what it would pay out. Like, that's how much people believe he's already winning the MVP. Nikola Jokic, meanwhile, was like, I just averaged 30, 10, and 10 for the week. Okay, not bad. And he hit like an insane shot against DeAndre Ayton. Oh, he got hurt in that game too, DeAndre Ayton. Keep an eye on that. Blazers, the happy-go-lucky story might be coming to a bit of a grinding halt, but still, Jokic was just insane. He's so fucking good. And they've won 7 straight. They look awesome. As long as they stay healthy, like they could be keeping on riding this nice little wave post All-Star, still end up like as a top 3 team in the West, easily. Because like Houston, rocky times. Memphis, you never know when the bottom's going to fall out of that team, right? Okay, so head and shoulders above the rest. Denver's just sitting on, there's no worries. We still kick ass in playoffs, yes. The Pistons, they're back, baby. They've won 2 on the trot. They're back above 500, my beloved Detroit Pistons. The Kings. They traded De'Aaron Fox. They've actually won a couple of games now. Like, they got the big win over the Mavs today. DeRozan fucking game winner. What did he have in the end? It was an absolutely awesome game from him in that just absurdly silly fucking game from the Mavs. He finished with 42. Absolutely absurd shit from DeRozan. But Malik Monk, 8 assists, 17 points. Levine, 17 points. The 42 from DeRozan. Like, even my name is Jonas Valanciunas, like, chucked in fucking 13 and 8. So the Kings, feeling good about themselves again. They're back above 500 as well. They'd stood back below that last week, remember? 27-26, good job, Kangs. The Hawks, same sort of shit. They have a fire sale. Now they've won 3 straight. Yes, one of them was against Washington. Yes, one of the other ones was against the Magic today, who are still a fucking question mark. But still, good job by the Hawks. Led by the Great Barrier Thief and Trae Young. They're dudes, though. Like, you think about like the way Atlanta looks now with that starting lineup. They just go, right, Zachary Rissachet. And he's like, I am the most forgotten about number 1 pick in the history of the NBA. Huh? And you're like, yes, because you're not Wemby and you are also French. But they're starting Trey, Dyson, Onyeka Okongwu, Rissachet, and Muhammad Gueye. Sure. And they fucking keep beating teams. It's awesome. But they're still below 500, but still, they're on the right track. The Sixers. If you want a big winner from this weekend, it's the Philadelphia 76ers. But Jim, they lost and got their heads kicked in a couple of times. Like, yes, they've lost 3 straight. But the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and no one in Philly fucking cares about the Sixers now. Like, that's just like, that's house money. You're fucking laughing if you're the Sixers. You're like, yes, we can actually tank this year. Well, we haven't got our pick, do we? You're like, oh, fuck. But, well, yeah, I think it's what, top 10 protected? Top 7? I don't know. Can't remember. But they could tank and no one in Philly would fucking care right now. Like, they're like, go birds, birds. Dude, they're just like fucking greasing up every light pole they can, eating horse shit. I mean, that was last time, but still. Falling through awnings. Eagles fans are fucking animals. I love them, but goddamn. It's awesome. It's hilarious. But the Sixers can just go, oh, fuck. That's great. Can we pack this one up and just fuck off home? They're done. And then obviously the big winner from the weekend is Ben Simmons. But Jim, he got bought out. No one wants him. He might not get another contract. Yeah, motherfucker's already got 200 and something million. Got paid $123.5 million for doing nothing. Basically, that's awesome. Dude got paid. Like those workout videos, as I said, they're going to be fucking fire from now on. That's unreal. All right, weekend losers. Oh, geez, the Mavs. There might not be a bigger loser in sport right now than the Dallas Mavericks. They might have, like, it could go down as the worst trade in sports history. Like Babe Ruth from the Red Sox to the Yankees. Like, that's the sort of shit we're talking about, right? And the fact that Anthony Davis gets hurt in his first game for the Mavs, does it feel like it could be like a Babe Ruth kind of curse? Like, you traded away Luka. You're the team that had like a 20-plus year fucking run with Dirk. You move straight into Luka. Your dummy fucking owners and your shitbird GM go, no, we're smarter than everybody. Get rid of the generational talent. Anthony Davis gets hurt on day fucking 1. Like, that feels like some fucking cosmic shit, right? Just saying. I'm just saying. It could go down as the worst trade in sports history, not just NBA history. Like, fucking hell. It's heading to a point, like, the vitriol from those fans is, like, at a point I don't think we've seen before. Like, it is, and it's not going down. Like, those Mavs fans are just, like, shocked, saddened, dismayed, furious, and it's fucked. Like, just imagine, like, so I don't know, I've got the squids. Like, if the 6-year-old, like, if he was like a Luka fan, I'm like, how? You'd be like, yeah, he's been on the Lakers now. He's like, am I a Laker fan? I'm like, not in my house. Jesus. But still, like, just imagine that if you got like fucking kids and you're in Dallas, you're like, yeah, they've just gone and ruined your shit for fucking your like childhood. Brutal. But you've got Anthony Davis and defense wins championship. We need really hard workers like Shaq. Nico Harrison, obviously a big weekend loser. So it's amazing that there's still like people out there carrying water for him as well in the media. And so, yeah, he was like, he was not convinced after they got beaten by the Celtics last year that he had the work ethic. And it's like, he's 25. Like, do you think the Nuggets are like, oh, geez, I'm a bit worried about Jokic's work ethic? Like, do you think Jokic is a bit overweight? Do you think he's like work ethic? He's like, I want horses. I care about horses, not basketball. Luka's like, I like fucking partying and drinking beer. And like the Mavs are like, oh, not in Texas. You're like, what the fuck? Idiots. It's like, oh, God. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, it wouldn't improve his well-chronicled comportment issues with referees. You serious? He kept yelling at the refs, so we got rid of him. You're fucked in the head, Nico. Anyway, other losers, Kevin Durant. So I hit on this on Friday's show, like about how fucked that Suns situation's got to be now. Like after they've just gone, hey, do you want Kevin Durant? Do you want Kevin Durant? Who wants Kevin Durant? And Kevin Durant's going, dude, what the fuck? I'm right here. I want to play out my contract in Phoenix. That's why I'm here, you assholes. They're like, anybody want a Kevin Durant? Do you want a Kevin Durant over there? Kevin Durant over here. Kevin Durant over there. And he's just like, you're massive fuckwits. And people keep asking me about it. He's like, look, man, it's just part of the business. Everyone's bought and sold in this league. Everyone can be up for auction. Don't know about this, Kevin. You're getting paid a lot. Anyway, so I understand about is getting back on the court and trying to play to the game I love. And apparently that entire Phoenix Suns situation is now just fucked. So good times in the old Western Conference, huh? Suns and Mavs just going, Jesus. And the Suns just also, like, they got 1 million points from Devin Booker the other day. And they still just kind of stink. Like, it's weird. So we've got Nick Richards. We don't have Nurkic anymore. It's like, yeah, you got your heads kicked in by the Nuggets. And it was not close. Like, they just fucking, I was watching that game on Saturday and just like, foot down, boom. Fucked up. Like, it was brutal. In that game, Booker had, the 24, 7 and 3. Without KD playing, it's like, yeah, you're shit. The Suns suck. Anyway, where are they at now? They are 26 and 26. Yeesh. Are they going to miss the playoffs? Fucking hell. They very easily could. They are currently in 11. The Kings might still have like these moments, but the Sun, I don't know, the Kings at least have like Levine, Sabonis, and Jonas. I love the Lithuanian connection there as well. That's just, let's get all the big Lithuanians. Like, I don't think you ever go wrong in that situation, right? Nightclub bouncers, basketball players. That's about it, but still. The Suns at 26 and 26, they got to hold off the Spurs behind them, who are 2 losses below them. And also catch the Warriors, the Kings. The Mavs also might just completely be fucked from here on out, but still. Like, Gafford got hurt again today as well, so Jesus. The Pelicans, they're fucking, talking about bottoming out, they've lost 9 straight. And Zion's been playing. They're fucked. CJ McCollum's been hurt as well. LaMelo, he's out again with the ankle. They kept an eye on that against Brooklyn today in the second half. But outside of this, I mean, the Wolves, like, the inconsistency just fucking kills me every time. You watched that Cleveland game today. You felt good about it. I think they were in my tips as I was like, did the drop-off vibes this morning. I'm like, yeah, the Wolves can keep that close. And it's like, they couldn't hit a fucking shot. They missed 16 straight to start the game. It was insane. Anyway, and the other one is the Orlando Magic. They still have these flashes where you're like, aha, they've got it. They've still got it. And then they have a game like today and you're like, how do you have 67 or 68 or whatever it was between Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner? Like, they beat the Spurs by that one point in that insane game the other day. And then lose to the fucking Hawks at home. You're like, dude, what is happening here? It's just such a weird season that without Suggs, this team is just horrible. It's bizarre. 68 they got from Paolo and Franz, and they lose. Nobody else got into double figures. That's horrible. God damn. Come on, Magic. Lift your game. All right, that's not a knife. A couple of these awards from the weekend.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
All right, that's a knife. That'll be Austin Reeves. I mentioned this one earlier. Oh, God, I'm losing my voice. Not a surprise, the amount of yelling I was doing at the Super Bowl party yesterday. It was so good doing the live stream, but it's also really loud. So you're like, hey, guys. Oh! Anyway, Austin Reeves. He became the 19th player in the history of the NBA who was undrafted to score 40. Ripped off 45 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists the other day against the Pacers. It was awesome. And he had this incredible quote as well. It's like, it wasn't the popular thing to do to chase my dreams. Just go to the gym, don't party, don't drink. I had teachers in high school telling me to find a plan B because a plan A wasn't going to work. I was told that a million times. Hang on. Is Austin Reeves American Deli? He might be. I didn't even yell about that. I hung out with Deli last night. That was fucking awesome. Got a photo. Stats boy's like, can I get a photo as well, Mr. Deli? I was so tempted just to take like 5 different selfies of my fucking mug instead of photos of him. But I did the right thing. Didn't get a photo with Taco or fucking Rocco. But seeing Taco in person in like just not even on a basketball court, but like in a normal situation, like in real life, IRL. And you're like, fucking hell, 7'6" is pretty big. like he's just wearing a t-shirt. I'm like, yeah, how do you get it? You'd have to wear a fucking tent like as a suit. Like, what's he going to do, man? Like, and then Rocco was like looking like he was in fucking Marmalade, right? Like wearing a fucking bolo tie and just sort of hanging out, or a chain or whatever, and like slacks. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Montrez was just in a t-shirt. It's fucking black tie. And he's like, I'm Montrez Harrell. I'm wearing what the fuck I want. It's like, yeah, checks out. What are they going to do? Kick him out? Anyway, Lance Stevenson was there. Lance, make him dance. I'm like, how do I get him on the show? So if anyone knows, sing out. He was on fucking Gazy and that idiot. Fucking, what's that other dipshit? Andy Marr. Yeah. Oh. Jeez, Jim, do you have some thoughts about other media members? Yes. Andy Marr. Love that he's a Carlton fan, but otherwise. And they had him on, like, and he's like singing, like doing his song. And like Gazy's like, yeah, just all about it. I love that. Gazy fucking rules. And Andy Marr's just like the world's worst. Anyway, yeah, let's get Lance on the show. Anyway, Austin Reeves, very good. How'd we get there? I don't know. Oh, yeah, he's American Deli. Nailed it. Spud of the night.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. We'll give that to the Wolves as a team. As I said, 2 of 21 in that first quarter. They go for 12 points. It was fucking horrible. Missed 16 straight shots. TJ Salon, he went for 1 of 12, 2 of 12 for Keon Johnson on the weekend. We got a 3-11 from Miles Bridges. Let's do it. Yes, mate. But I also don't want to give him too much shine because he's a piece of shit. So fuck that guy. Let's do it.
Old mate, no mate.
Old mate, no mate.
Old mate, no
Old
mate.
mate, no mate.
Old mate, no mate.
Old mate, no mate.
Old mate, no mate.
Who's got no mates today after the weekend? Still the Souvlaki King. Oh, I got trade. Did you trade? Shut up. You're still in the fucking All-Star game. Demantis Sabonis is like, bro, come on. He's leading the league in rebounds. He's 3rd in win shares. He's 7th in box plus minus. He's 5th in VORP. I know what VORP is. 4th in 3-point percentage together with 20.6 points a game, 14.3 rebounds, 6.2 assists. And they put Kyrie in over him in replace of a big. Demantis Sabonis is like, dude, what the fuck? That's so brutal. And yeah, Trey just going, oh, what a trade. Fuck you, Trey Young. And Patrick Dumont, he's also pantsing of the night because that's a classic one. That's an all-time self-pantsing going, hey, I only want hard workers on my team like Shaq. That's just like standing up in front of everybody going, hey, everybody, do you want to see my butthole? Because I'm going to pants myself and bend over and show it to you. Like, that's how fucking dumb that statement is. It's ridiculous. No one who has any fucking knowledge of the NBA and Shaq's career has ever gone, you know who was a really hard worker that you should model yourself after? Is Shaq. He's just always in the gym, just a real hard worker with a singular focus on working out. What? In what fucking universe? That is insane. Absolutely insane stuff. And the magic tweet of the week, I don't know if we've got the magic tweet stuff here, so which sort of sucks. But I did love that he's like, congratulations to my good friend Alex Rodriguez. An arbitrator has granted him permission to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves and Lynx. Thanks, Magic. Get on my news from Magic Johnson. And then finally, dickhead of the weekend is Patrick Dumont again. Like, it is such a incredible self-own to be like, yeah, hard worker like Larry Bird and Shaq. Michael Jordan, who never like spent all night at Atlantic City casinos instead of like sleeping and then going to play playoff games. Notorious hard worker. Absolutely insane. We might save some yeah nahs and stuff for tomorrow, actually, now that I sort of think about it, because we've sort of hit a bunch of weekend winners and losers. We've got some good ones as well from Jez Oz, who went on to win our NFL Straya bar tab because he won the fucking prop sheet. It was incredible. So we might just skip that and go to the Australian Player Watch right after, let's say, this one.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening
Australia.
to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, time for NBA Australia's daily Australian Player Watch. That's right. It is a big Tuesday. It's February 11, and the Aussies really got amongst it on the weekend. First and foremost, however, we've talked about this in NBA Australia already today, but Ben Simmons, you want an Australian Player Watch? How about you just watch how much money he's made? I'll tell you what, he played 90 games in 4 years with Brooklyn, did our Box Hill Benny, and made a cool $123.5 million in paychecks from the Brooklyn Nets. That's all-time, like, legendary GOAT status bag getting, isn't it? Gosh. Anyway, he's now with the LA Clippers, so we've got him and Patty on the same team again, which is kind of cool. Maybe Ben was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go where Patty goes. Maybe he's also like, you know what, there's great production houses for my off-season workout videos. That's where it's at. Anyway, otherwise, the actual Aussies who play basketball played on the weekend, and across today, we had a massive, massive slate post-Super Bowl today. So we actually had Jingle and Joe Ingles up against the Cavs, and we got Luke Travers out there as well against his mate Jingles, and Jingles played 15 minutes. How good was that? He also went 0 of 1. It was from 3. So he ends up with 0 points, but 1 rebound, 2 assists, a steal, a turnover, and he carried Darius Garland to the scorer's table in front of the refs, which was very funny and very nice of him. Travers, though, coming back from an ankle injury. He played 6 minutes in this game because it was like, what, a 128-107 blowout win where they held Minnesota to 2 of 21 shooting in the first quarter. It was incredible. He played 6 minutes, 0 points, 0 of 1. It was a 3. He had 1 rebound, 2 turnovers, and a foul. But Travers up with the ones. You love to see that. The flying doormat. Dante Exum in an incredibly weird game against the Kings that, I don't know, Jason Kidd not fronting the media afterwards. Everything's going great in Dallas. It's definitely not all burning down to the ground. Dante played 19 minutes in that game. Ends up with 5.6 assists, 2 rebounds, and a turnover. 2 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. I'm more interested to see what his role is like in the next little bit as they sort of get through the we don't have Luka anymore because we traded him because we're idiots. And they sort of try to figure out the balance between Kyrie, Dante, everything else going on in that roster. We'll see how he goes, but fingers crossed he stays healthy more than anything. Jock Landale had a big double-double the other day, which is pretty fun. 11 and 10 in a big win over the Raptors. 11 and 10. Very, very nice. 1 assist and a block to go with that. We also had Johnny Furphy not play in the game against the Lakers where Austin Reeves went off. That was a bit of a tough one. Dyson Daniels in a big win for the Hawks over Orlando, though. He had 10.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and what do they call him? The Great Barrier Thief. Boom. 4 more steals for your NBA league-leading steals man. He also had a block and went 5-8 from the floor. Josh Green in a tough loss to Brooklyn today. Brutal for Charlotte. 27 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals to go with an assist. 2 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 4 from downtown. Not bad. And then finally, our man. Oh, wait, no, we had Duop Reith as well. Duop Reith in that loss to Denver got out there for 4 minutes. He had 3 points because he hit 1 of his 2 shots. It was a 3. He's gone 1-1 from downtown. He had zeros across the board elsewhere, though. So he's just running up. He's like, I'm going to put up some shots, and that's all I'm going to do. Aussie Matty T. Matisse Tybal didn't get out there, still dealing with his ankle. But Alex Dukas, Dukas, mate, he shined in the 136-101 win over New Orleans. Got out there for 6 minutes, did our man Alex. 1 and 2 from the floor, both threes. Took 2 shots, just launching threes. I love that for Alex Dukas. So he ends up with 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and a +4. That's pretty good. I'm very proud of you, Alex. That's very good. Outside of that, that's what the Aussies have been up to. But more importantly, now we've got Patty and Ben on the Clippers. Means we've actually got a big interest in the Clippers now here on NBA Australia. So that's going to be pretty fun. Can't wait for it. But either way, that is your Australian Player Watch for Tuesday, February 11. All right. So there you go. You've got some Australian player watch. That's been done. Let's just get into a bit of a Patty Mills game day bullet. Can I actually just do some more Magic tweets? Because there's some great ones from the Super Bowl. That might be my game day bullet game day, Patty Mills check in today. Because it is literally like, it's amazing. Like, what a big blow to the Lakers. The trade with the Hornets is rescinded due to Mark Williams' failed physical. I don't think they officially announced that, Magic. I think you just gave us a little bit of a peek behind the curtain there. Congratulations to the entire Eagles team, head coach Nick Sirianni and owner Jeffrey Lurie on their Super Bowl championship. It's just so good. Kendrick Lamar brought the house down tonight in his halftime performance. I loved his song selection. And the production was amazing. SZA sounded great, and I love seeing my friend Serena Williams and my good friend Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam. Thanks, Magic. I love it. I love it so much. It's just so positive all the time. What an all-time legend. Let's have a look at, I'll see if Paddy's actually done anything about Box Hill Benny. Oh, shout out to Jason Kadee as well, announcing his retirement after this season. I fucking love Jason Kadee. He was a great guest on this show. Nothing from Paddy about being excited to have Ben on the team. Do you reckon Patty Mills is like hung out with Ben Simmons on Brooklyn and is just like, I can't get to this guy. And he's like, fuck, he's coming to the Clippers? God damn. Jesus. Oh, here we go. First Australian to play for the Clippers. Cheers, LA. Oh, yeah, it's a good video from Patty, basically, as he's introducing himself to LA. I'm Indigenous Australian. I'm perceived to people over here. It's pretty good. Go check that out. All right, quick game previews for tomorrow, and then we'll get out of your hair. Game previews. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Seriously, getting as shit-faced as I did on Saturday was just the dumbest thing ever because it just fucked up my Sunday and then just trying to recover from that all the way around to the fucking Super Bowl party. And then today it's just like fucking 3 days of just ruination. So that's how I'm going, Inadvertent Bane. I think, what have we got? 4 games tomorrow, I think it was. And yeah, after 11 games today, which was just chaos, some of which were good. The Celtics kicking the fuck out of the Heat. Celtics fans are going to be back up and about, but it was a weird day. But we have Toronto at Philly, which is a really strange one, right? Because Toronto, I think without Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl, Philly, fucking who knows if Embiid's ever going to play again. Like there was the announcement, it was like, oh yeah, might have to like get surgery to ever be right again. And you're like, again? I think you're fucked, mate. But the Sixers at home against this Toronto team. The Raptors are like, I much prefer sort of like having a look at the Raptors at home, but +8.5 on the road against this Sixers team. Can the Sixers beat the piss out of somebody to the tune of 9 points? Should we have a look and see when the last time that actually happened was? They beat the Mavs by 2. Oh, yeah, okay. They beat the Kings about 3 weeks ago, 117-104. I just don't know. At home, tempted to go to the Sixers, but I might just take the points, +8.5 for Toronto, just because, Philly. Actually, that crowd might be up and about. They might show up because of the Super Bowl win. Maybe we go the Sixers. They might have been a bit inspired, perhaps. What do you reckon, producer Gerald? Philly? I think we might go Philly. Fly, Eagles, boo. Anyway, the Knickerbockers play Indy. It's a Spike Lee Bowl. Spike Lee versus Reggie Miller. I love a good Knicks-Pacers game. The Knicks are only 1.5-point favorites, which kind of makes sense. Indy have been pretty good. They got them losing to the Lakers the other day without fucking LeBron or Luka was a bit of an embarrassment. But I don't know. At home, I'm going to probably maybe go Indy +1.5 as long as there's no sort of no actual injury concerns. Let's have a look at their quick injury list. Miles Turner is still questionable. If Miles Turner plays up against Karl Anthony Towns, I'm probably going to take Indy +1.5 at home. That sounds good. The other games, he says, having lost the games for tomorrow. Detroit at Chicago. How good's this? Old Eastern Conference rivalry week, apparently. Actually, that is weird because that's 3 You got Toronto Philly, which is an Atlantic Division rivalry. Well, actually, Toronto Philly. I mean, that's the fucking team that knocked Philly out. Basically, the Ben Simmons and Embiid era finishes there. If they had have beaten the fucking Kawhi Raptors, they probably win the title that year, right? Then you got New York Indy, which is an awesome Spike Lee Reggie Miller Bowl, and you got Detroit Chicago, which is the Bad Boys versus MJ. I like this. Detroit are 4.5-point favorites to go in Detroit. I love Detroit. We know that. I really wish they'd gotten Brandon Spindles Ingram though. Like, what's he doing on Toronto? It's just anyway. Then finally, Memphis at Phoenix. A fucking fun game. So I'm going to go the Grizzlies because the Suns are a mess. So the Grizzlies are 4.5-point favorites on the road. I'll take those over the Suns. It's a really fun, weird slate tomorrow, so it should be good. But otherwise, I guess we'll wrap those all up for you tomorrow, as well as come back with a bunch of the Yeah Nahs and Outback Takehouse that we ended up missing today. So sorry about that, but we just went long because I yelled about just the Mavs a bit. And about the NBL awards and was like, hey, how good's being fancy? Anyway, we'll be back on deck tomorrow. So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya across all of the socials. You go see all the fun shit over on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Jump on the YouTube, jump in the comments, send us some DMs if you got some yeah nahs, all that sort of shit. Get around NFL Australia. We'll have a Super Bowl rap show when we find Gaz. Might take a while. I finally heard back from him today as well. It's like, where'd you end up? He's like, I don't know. He lost his jersey. He's like, you should be wearing that. Like, how do you fucking lose it? Anyway, so that's going to be a fun wrap-up show because the Eagles fucking won the Super Bowl. Check us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever your app you use on your Android phone. The Cricket Today podcast, they've just wrapped up the Aussie series as well. They've got a little bit of other stuff still going on. AFL Today is back as of tomorrow as well. So get around all of the shows. Hold all tickets for your GGs. Rate, review, star, subscribe, tell them, mate, share them, all that sort of good shit. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule, so do House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, God Minds, Ramshack Alami, Iowa Section, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show, so smash them all on Apple Music, Spotify, however you listen to your tunes. Support Australian bands. That's what we do here at NBA Australia. All right, good stuff, good weekend, crazy weekends. I am cooked, mate. So we will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. It's NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And let us and